Hello everyone and welcome to our reverse diet mini masterclass. So excited to have you here. Hope you are doing well. I am Julia Fave. I am the founder of the Stronger Community and I'm going to be doing your workshop today. So if you can hear me fine, just type a one or hey, just say hey in the comments below and let me know where you are watching from today, but we are going to get right to it. I'm going to talk about a few things today, but let me introduce myself first to those of you that don't know me. I am a mom of three. I'm a former school teacher. I was a teacher for 10 years. I'm a certified nutrition coach, currently getting more certifications for you guys so that I can better serve you. And I've been coaching women in the health and wellness industry for over 6 years. So I've helped hundreds of women work towards their health and wellness goals. So that's a little bit about me. I'm going to share with you guys, we're going to talk about reverse dieting. If you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my notes to make sure that I give you guys all the goods on this topic and I don't skip over or miss anything. But we're going to talk about a few things today. We're going to talk about what is a reverse diet. We're going to talk about how does it work. We're going to talk about who a reverse diet is for. We're going to talk about the signs it might be time for a reverse diet, and the benefits of a reverse diet. Okay, so we're going to talk about those topics. We're going to go through this today, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll realize, okay, maybe it's time for me to do a reverse diet, or no, that's not for me. But so we'll see from today's topic if this is for you. Okay, so let's get right to it. So what's a reverse diet? So it's just exactly what the name is, reverse diet. So it's reversing the diet. So it's the diet after the diet. That's another way people have described it, is it's a diet after a diet. So a reverse diet is an eating plan that involves gradually increasing your calorie intake over a period of several weeks or months, and it to boost your metabolism and help your body burn more calories. Now, I know what you're thinking. If I increase my calories, then I'm going to gain more weight. We're going to get into that, and I'm going to kind of answer that question. I'm going to answer that question for you as we go through this, because I know that's one of the biggest fears for women is to increase their calorie intake. Oh my gosh, that means I'm going to gain weight. If I want to lose weight, I have got to decrease my calories, and that's how I'm going to lose more weight, right? So I'm going to change that for you a little bit today. There's, bodybuilders have used reverse dieting, competitive athletes, they've increased their energy levels while maintaining their weight loss and their body composition. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, I'm not a professional athlete. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not a competitive athlete. That's okay. I've helped women go through reverse diets before, and it's not just competitive athletes. It's just a system that they've used that has really helped and benefited them as well. So how does it work? How does a reverse diet work? So reverse dieting involves increasing your calorie intake about 50 to 100 calories per week. So whatever your baseline is, and a coach can help you figure out what that baseline is for you. And then you slowly increase that. It's strategic by 50 to 100 calories every week, and slowly every week you may change it. Sometimes it's every couple weeks that you're going to change and increase that calorie intake to kind of reverse the dieting process that you've been under for a while, increasing those calories. So most diets involve, like I said, decreasing your calorie intake, and it creates a caloric deficit. That's how we lose weight. We put ourselves in a little bit of a caloric deficit and then we lose weight, right? So how many calories we consume in a day, we want to put that into a deficit, and that was what helps us lose weight. Now, so many people have been in a calorie deficit for too long, or they're too far into a calorie deficit, and they don't even know it sometimes. Okay, so we'll talk about that too. But over time, the body adapts to that deficit and it slows down your metabolism. So a big problem with that is if you've been chronically dieting, you have slowed down your metabolism. So this is why a lot of people hit a plateau or they struggle to lose weight and they feel like they have to keep decreasing and decreasing and decreasing or increasing their fitness level more and more and more because their metabolism has completely slowed down because they've been in that diet phase for way too long. Okay, so they're way too far in a deficit or they've been in that deficit for way too long. And the body has adapted and slowed their metabolism down. The great thing though for you to know is that our metabolism is very adaptive and we can learn to rev that back up. So this is part of the process of a reverse diet. So many things. So let's talk now. Who's the reverse diet for? Okay. So a reverse diet is for someone who, and now I've got a big list here, so listen carefully. And I want you, when you hear one that resonates with you, I want you to type it in the comments. Just say, whatever the tip that I give you or which one I give you, I want you to say that's me or tell me that that's what you struggle with. So, so a reverse diet is for someone who is chronically restricting their food or their calories, okay? Someone who has done years and years of yo-yo dieting. Eating very low calories, so that deficit I was talking about, we are in an extreme deficit, and a lot of women don't even know that they're under eating, that they're in this chronic or they're in this severe deficit. Not able to maintain your weight loss or that diet that you're following. If you feel like you're always, like you're always craving or binge eating, like it's just too low of a caloric intake for you, then that means it's time for a reverse diet. You've hit a plateau. So if you're like, I'm doing all the right things, I'm following a nutrition plan, I am working out hard, and nothing is happening. I've hit a plateau, or maybe you're starting to gain weight, it's time for a reverse diet. Or maybe you've successfully lost your weight. You've successfully lost the weight, but you were eating in very low calories. You're eating in that deficit to hit that goal weight. And you want to get to a higher place where you feel like you can maintain. That was somewhere where I was at when I did my first official reverse diet. I can say that I was also one of those people who was eating really low calories and didn't know it because I didn't track calories. I didn't track macros way back in the day. And I just wasn't, realized years later that I just wasn't eating enough food. But for me, when I did my first reverse diet, I had hit I was at my, goal weight, and my body couldn't maintain staying in that lower deficit number for so long. And it was time to reverse diet. So here's some signs. If you're like, okay, well, I've been yo-yo dieting, or like those, one of those things resonated with you, but you're like, I'm really just not sure if a reverse diet is for me. Especially a lot of women who are like, I'm not into dieting. I don't want to track all this stuff, but we want to make sure we really know if we're giving our body enough food and fuel for it to function at its most optimal, to have enough energy to function, for just our body processes to be functioning properly. It's not just about energy, but all food and fuel affects our whole body, from our head to our toes, the inside out. And so I'm going to talk about some of the signs that maybe it's time for a reverse diet, and you don't even realize that you're somebody who's been under eating. But if you have some of these signs, it might be a sign that you are under eating, and that it might be time for you to think about looking into starting a reverse diet. Okay, so most people don't know that they're under eating, like I said, especially those that aren't tracking and their calories or their macros. That was me years and years ago, right? Before I started tracking macros. And I didn't even realize that I was under eating. But so here are some signs that it might be time, or signs that you might be under eating and that it's time for a reverse diet. Headaches, hair loss, that was me. Hormones are out of whack. Mood swings, right? When we're sitting in a caloric deficit and we've been in there for far too long, or we're too far into a calorie deficit, like you get that term hangry came up for a reason, right? You're moody. Do you find yourself snapping at people? And you might have just eaten, but your body just doesn't have enough fuel at all to get through its day and to function at its most optimal. So, do you have mood swings, lack of energy, fatigue, brain fog, right? Your brain functions when it's fueled properly, and we get that from food. Skin issues, constant bloating, right? Often we consider bloating like, oh, I must have eaten this. This is why I'm bloated. I can't eat that food anymore. And we just start to cut things out. But oftentimes our body's reaction to under eating is bloating. So if you are constantly bloated, then that could be a sign that you are under eating and it's time for a reverse diet to increase your calories. You're not feeling your best or vibrant. I mean, when your body is fueled and you are feeling, you just have this like energy level, you feel vibrant, you feel good, all around. And so if you're not feeling that, if you are feeling low on energy, you're not feeling at your best, you're not feeling vibrant, then, this could be a sign that you're under eating. And there's so many more, the list goes on and on and on, but I could be here for hours going through the list. But it can affect our sleep. It can be affecting our stress level, anxiety, depression, if we are under eating. And so, like I said before, headaches, migraines, like look at what are you eating enough, and how to find out is often like working with a coach and getting to know like am I at, and is this enough for my body to actually function at its most optimal. Okay, so let's talk about the benefits of a reverse diet, because maybe some of you are sitting here going, well, that sounds a little bit like me, but I'm just not really sure. But I'm also a little skeptical because you're going to increase my calories, but you're telling me that I can still see results, right? So like I said before, it is a process because it is not meant for weight loss, but it is meant to increase your calories so you can have a higher intake. And then it'll increase your metabolism, right? We've slowed our metabolism down by, restricting our calories and dieting, right? That slows your metabolism down. We need to reverse that and stoke the fire and reignite your metabolism, right? So we want to increase your metabolism. So we want to increase, how do we do that? We increase our calories, stoke it with more fuel on the fire, right? So we want to do that. And for a lot of people, when they do a reverse diet, they do lose weight. So it's not for weight loss, but it's to get you into a position where you're starting to eat more, you have more energy, your metabolism is running faster and better, your body is fueled properly so you can function at its most optimal, and then we can go from there to really get you into getting closer to those results that you're looking for. But a lot of people, when they do that, when they rev up their metabolism, when the reverse diet kicks in, their weight starts to come down, okay? But that is not the main purpose. It's to really make that switch and boost that metabolism up and energy. So a lot of people have said that with a reverse diet, here are some of the benefits that they have said they've noticed. So brings freedom, right? freedom with food. They can eat more food that they enjoy. They're not feeling restricted like they did on a diet. And also freedom because they're now chilling at maintenance. So how amazing will it feel to be sitting at that maintenance level? It's also education, right? You're educating yourself on nutrition and how much your body actually needs to function at its most optimal. So that's another thing. They feel more educated, more knowledge about their own bodies and food and how they go together and how it'll help them function. They feel more educated, more empowered around food. They enjoy food again, right? When we restrict, we feel guilty if we eat certain foods. So they lose that feeling of restriction and fear around food. Another benefit is they get to eat more food, right? So I think a lot is a mindset shift in, like I said, at the beginning, we often have been told, well, we decrease our calories, we're going to increase our weight loss, right? So when we tell people about a reverse diet, they're going to increase their calories. They're like, whoa, I don't want to gain weight. But that's not how a reverse diet works. The point of it is to help you rev up your metabolism again so that you can burn those calories again, get you out of that plateau, out of that restrictive diet mentality. So you actually get to eat more food and learning that it's okay and that you're not going to gain all of the weight back if you go into a reverse diet. So learning to be able to have more food. More food means more energy. I mean, who doesn't want more energy, right? More energy, overcome that dieter's mentality. Like I said, with the decrease in calories, we think we're going to, we increase our weight loss. So a lot of people start and they're scared to increase those calories, but it's that mindset shift that happens throughout the reverse diet as well. So it increases your metabolism. That's another thing. Rev that metabolism up, helps you burn more calories. They feel a lot stronger, right? They fueled their body properly. They have enough food. Our bodies can't function on 1,200 calories. We are not a toddler, right? That is what toddlers should be eating, not grown women. So when we increase our calories, then we increase our energy level. And so, and then we feel stronger, right? You can build that muscle. A lot of women say, I want to build lean muscle, but then they put themselves in like a super load. They go on these diets that restrict their calories, restrict the types of foods they eat. They cut out food groups, and it's not going to work because you might lose weight, but you're not going to burn fat and build muscle because your body doesn't have the fuel that it needs to be able to do that process. And so they feel so much stronger in the gym, stronger for their workouts, stronger for their day-to-day, right? They've been fueled properly. They perform better as an athlete or as a day-to-day athlete, right? If we're working out or hiking or biking, we're athletes too. You don't have to be somebody that's paid to be an athlete. You're still an athlete if you're, moving your body and doing those activities. So, they perform better. And I can attest to this with my own personal experience. When I increased my calories, I went from going anywhere from, close to 1,500 calories to over 2,100 to 2,400 calories when I reversed dieted. And my energy, I had that same fear, like, oh gosh, like to eat that much more food. But remember, it happens gradually over time. You increase your calories. And it's not like you go from one day eating 1,500 to the next day eating 2,400 calories, but it's over a period of weeks and months. My energy was through the roof. My hair was growing back, and people were like, your hair is so long. Like, it's growing so fast. Well, because I was fueling my body properly. I was more confident. I was less stressed around food. I was able to eat more food that I enjoyed. I was able to not worry about going to barbecues or events or anything, going out to dinner on a date night with my husband, because I didn't fear food and doing those things because I could eat a lot more and eat what I wanted, because I teach macros and flexible dieting. So being able to eat the foods you love. But also, I noticed that I was just stronger in my workouts. I started to be able to lift heavier than I could before. My muscles were too weak, not because they weren't getting the food it needed to have the energy to perform in my workouts. So a lot of people have said it's boosted their confidence. They're not dieting anymore, right? When they learn to reverse diet and they've been educated on food in their body, they learn that they don't have to, follow a diet if they want to, if you kind of have done that reverse diet and you want to lose a little bit of weight, you can still, the system to get you there without having to diet and go into a strict calorie deficit. Okay. And there's no more crash diets and detoxes and all that stuff, ditching all that and being able to feel better and overall. Okay. So what to know? What do we need to know? Now we know, okay, I'm seeing some of those signs. Okay. That sounds like me. I'm a yo-yo dieter, or I'm a chronic, I'm constantly eating low calorie, or I don't even know, but I am experiencing all of those symptoms that you've mentioned, for people that are under eating and really should be reverse dieting and increasing their calories and eating more so they can boost their metabolism. So the best thing for you to do, first of all, is to own it, right? Take ownership over it, find that awareness, be aware that, okay, this is me. And also deciding this is not what I want anymore. Deciding I don't want to follow a diet. I don't want to restrict my calories anymore. I want to feel better. I want to have more energy. I want to feel stronger. I'm done with the diets and the fad diets out there, and I really want to eat the foods I enjoy. I mean, I hear from women all the time who are telling me they're on these diets. They're like, well, I'm really good when I follow it, but I enjoy this, this, and this, and I can't eat that when I'm on that diet. Well, okay, so are you okay to cut out those foods for the rest of your life and completely restrict forever? Or do you want to find a way that is better, where you can eat the foods you enjoy and still see the results, right? Without having to diet and restrict and cut calories super extreme. So the best way is to, one, figure out that, okay, this sounds like me. I'm aware. I want to make a change. The next step is to find a coach, because it's not something for you to just do on your own, because a coach can help you figure out what's your baseline. First, you need to know the baseline before you try to reverse diet, because I don't want you to just throw in a whole bunch of calories and then you gain all this weight back and you're like, I tried to reverse diet and it doesn't work. Well, you tried to reverse diet on your own and it didn't work, right? So you need the support of somebody who knows what they're doing. They're going to guide you through the process of knowing where to start and when to increase your calories. And they'll help you through the obstacles and the mindset that are going to come up through the way. Because a lot of people start to fear, oh my gosh, we're increasing my calories. I'm not sure about this. I don't want to gain weight. It's helping you through that process. And they'll help you figure out your baseline, like I said. And generally, because you're going to increase your calories every week, about 50 to 100 calories. But sometimes you're going to wait, right? Like your coach will know we're going to increase this week. Next week, we're going to increase. Okay, this week, we're going to sit here for 2 weeks and we're going to see how this works. And then we're going to increase again. So a coach is going to help guide you week to week through the reverse dieting process. So it's really, really strategic, and having someone that can guide you through that. So like I said before, and what you really need to remember with a reverse diet is minimizing fat gain while maximizing calorie intake. And this is going to rev up your metabolism, right? So it's not necessarily like, hey, I want to do a reverse diet. I'm going to lose all this weight. It's the main point of it isn't weight loss. Yes, people lose weight on a reverse diet. But if you have been chronically dieting for far too long and you're experiencing those symptoms, it is time to change that around. And you need to teach your body how to reverse the diet, the damages you've done from dieting. And I don't mean that in a negative way in any shape or form. What I mean is just our bodies have adapted to that low calorie and we need to switch that around. So we want to put our bodies through that process in order to rev up that metabolism, because we're, again, decreasing those calories has lowered or slowed down our metabolism. That's why so many people hit the plateau or they struggle to lose weight. They're frustrated because they're like, oh, I just have a really slow metabolism. I'm like, okay, but your metabolism is adaptive and you can change that and you can get your metabolism to rev up and, help you in that process of burning more calories. Okay. So if you feel like this is something for you, I can help you through this process. I take my clients through 12 weeks of coaching. Some of them do a reverse diet. Not all of my clients do a reverse diet. A lot of them, it's for them learning how to fuel their bodies properly and how to balance their macros and how to have food flexibility and learning about mindset. And some of them, partway through our work together, we go, okay, this is time for you to reverse diet. And so we'll put them through a reverse diet. Some of them come to me right away and we decide that right now is the time for you to start a reverse diet, and we go from there over that 12-week period. So if you feel like you are done with the diet, if you are done with feeling frustrated, if you are done with eating, cutting out food groups and cutting out the foods you love, if you are done with, if you're feeling frustrated because you're having hormonal issues or headaches all the time, or you're struggling with mood swings and all those symptoms that I mentioned about, if you're eating too low calorie, or it could be that you're eating too low for you're working out way too hard for what you're eating, right? So a lot of people too are working out multiple times a day, but they're not eating enough food to balance that out. Or they're very active in their job and they're not eating enough food to support their system and fuel their body properly. So they're under eating. So that's just another thing, just so it's not necessarily just that you're under eating, but if you're somebody who's like, well, I work out all the time and I eat really healthy, but maybe you're under eating and you're not eating enough to support what you're doing for your activity level. So that's another way to know that you're under eating as well. If I have some openings for October for our Fueled Life program. And again, it's customized to you. It is not a group program, although I add you to a group. It is going to be customized to you, where I do one-on-one coaching with you. I customize your macros. And then if a reverse diet is for you, we work through that. And we would adjust your macros every week. We'd adjust your calories every single week. And we go through that process together to help you through it. So I have a couple openings left for October of the Fueled Life program. There was so much interest in August, and so I decided to open up for October. So there are some spots available. I have a couple calls already coming up this week. Right now there's a few. I only take 10, but I have 5 on a wait list right now. And we're just waiting to see if it's the right fit for them. So I get on a call with everybody to make sure it is. If it isn't, then I will let you know. And if this is not a good fit, you and me working together, I'll let you know that, or we can decide if the program is the right fit for you. But I do have 5 spots left on the wait list. And we would connect and go through whether it would be a good fit. Again, so if that's you, then just comment below. I will put the link to the application form in the comments, and just fill that out. And it doesn't mean, it just puts you on the wait list. It doesn't mean that you're required any payment or anything like that. It just holds a spot for you if you, and then we'll get on a call and again, chat through it, and I'll give you some tips and tools going through that call and see if it's a really good fit for you or not. But again, I'll put that application in the comments below and we can go from there. So hope you enjoyed today's mini masterclass on reverse dieting, and have a great rest of your Friday. All right, bye guys.